Hi, what's up? I'm DJ Sixsmith. You're watching The Sit Down. Ben Bailey's here with us. Brand new comedy tour, January 25th, kicking off all around the country. You got Cash Cab on Bravo.
Yep.
Good time to be Ben Bailey. What's up, man?
What's going on? Yeah, things are good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm busy in a good way, you know. Got the stand-up tour kicking off on the 25th in Cleveland, of all places. Everyone's like, what are you going to Cleveland in January for?
Let's just start with the worst, coldest spot, and then we'll build it up from there.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to Cleveland, man. I've always had good shows there. And I got like a cool VIP invite to get a tour of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Ooh, there you go. And you haven't done that before, right?
I haven't done it before. I've been there for an event once, but I didn't have time to do the tour or anything, so I'm going to go get a VIP tour of that Saturday before, the afternoon before the show. So
that should be pretty sweet. Who are some of your favorite musical artists when you think about it?
Oh man, my musical taste is like varied.
You're all across the board?
Yeah, like I had a phase in high school where I was like nothing but reggae for like
really?
for like 3 years. I was just all reggae. And
Wow.
I was just like really deep into reggae. And then I was into Zeppelin, which I still am. I still love Zeppelin. I had like when I was like 40, I had this Black Sabbath phase. Where I just listened to nothing but Sabbath for several years. So, but I also like jazz. You know, I like some classical, a lot of classicals. I like all kinds of music.
Did you have a
Whatever
Springsteen run in there?
Springsteen's kind of been in the background throughout. Yeah, I grew up in Jersey,
right.
so
it's kind of a necessary thing.
Yeah, it was the first concert I went to on my own. The first concert I really went to was Mac Davis.
Okay.
When I was a little kid, you probably don't even
I don't even know
who is Mac Davis. But the first one I went to, like without parents, was a Bruce Springsteen show.
That's cool.
At Giant Stadium, he played for 4 hours.
Wow.
Plus, it was awesome.
The stamina you have to have for that is just insane.
Yeah, he's still doing it.
Yeah.
He's still doing those super long shows. I was a waiter here in New York once. I waited on Bruce.
Oh, wow. Where was that?
A place called Amici Mie.
Okay.
Now it's called Dos Caminos. It's down on West Broadway and Houston Street. And Bruce Springsteen comes in, and he was like super cool. You know, it was a really very New York experience. I'm like, oh my God, I'm waiting on Bruce Springsteen.
Didn't have any specific dietary issues, nothing.
Not at all, dude. He had a pastrami sandwich and like 4 beers and a shot of tequila for lunch. I was like, that is a rock star lunch. Yeah. I said that to him. It's a rock star lunch.
I mean, that's got to be one of your favorite New York stories. I mean, because the Cash Cab thing has always been awesome for you. Like, what are some of your favorite New York City moments when you think about it?
I have so many now because we're like literally out on the streets with everybody. With everybody. So it's like everywhere I look, I'm like, oh, I remember. We've done 550 episodes or something now. So it's like every place we're walking, I'm like, oh, I remember when we picked up those people right there. It's like there's one for every spot. I think my favorite one is probably right here in Times Square. We're cruising through, we're doing B-roll stuff, so we're just shooting exteriors of the cab and things, and shots of me driving around, but no contestants or anything. And my buddy Chris Coco was the DP, and he's in a minivan in front of me with the back open.
Right.
And he's got the big camera mounted there, and he's filming me. And we're stuck in traffic cruising through Times Square, and it's packed. And I'm just like, man, nobody's said anything. No one's spotted us yet. And we're just crawling along. And then I see a guy, as soon as I think that, I see a guy go like, he sees the camera, and I see him look from the camera to see what he's filming, and he goes, and he points and he yells, he goes, it's the Cash Cab! And like this wave just went through Times Square. Everybody started cheering. I put my hand out the window and everybody screamed. I was like, oh man, that's probably one of the best moments of my life.
That's as good as it gets, right? I mean,
just
awesome. The fact that your show, it really became like a cultural phenomenon when you think about it. Like everybody in Times Square knew it, people around the city. Like, how did it build out to that point where it became such a big thing?
It just, I don't know, man. We did, the first season we didn't do another one for almost 1.5 years. So in that time, Discovery Channel we were on back then, it was a weird thing for them. They never had a game show. They never had anything. It's much different
from their other programming.
Yeah. Back then, especially, it was all like science and nature, and like their talent was like a scientist or a historian.
You're a little different from that.
It was a little different. I'm like their first comedian who was hosting a show for them. But so it took a while. For them to kind of go, okay, this thing's kind of catching on. Literally 0 advertising. It was all just word of mouth. And about 6 months after that first season was out, I started to notice people looking at me. They had a different look in their eye when they would look at me, and I think people are recognizing me, And you know, my friends and everyone was like, "No, come on, dude, whatever. You're
crazy,
crazy,
you're taking
you
it
know?
too seriously."
Yeah,
right?
yeah, like, dude, don't get a swelled head or whatever. But then, you know, I'd go out with them and they'd be like, "No, dude, you're right. People are spotting you." And then it just sort of snowballed, you know. And then next thing you know, we made 120 episodes the year after that, and it was like just like night and day. It just changed everything.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
One of the things I was thinking about, because now you're doing it, and obviously there are Ubers and other forms of transportation, but this was like a pre-Uber thing too.
Yeah.
So kind of hit at the right time. You built the audience, and has it changed anything with other means of transportation, or you guys are still able to do what you want to do?
It hasn't really affected us much. I mean, people are still taking yellow cabs in New York. You know, it's still, I think, unless you really want to be in an SUV or some sort of high-end vehicle or whatever, it's still the easiest way to get around above ground in Manhattan.
Right, and it's very New York still. Yeah. Just trying to replicate in another city, it just wouldn't be the same.
I don't think it would fly. I think we'd have to. I mean, maybe there's a couple of cities that could like have the cab traffic. Like San Francisco has a lot of cabs. Chicago has a fair amount. We might be able to get away with it there, but I feel like if we were going to take it on the road, we might want to, you know, team up with Lyft or Uber and.
Right, it would make a little more sense in that department.